peeps, it's Biggs. I don't even know where I am. I'm in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. It's about 4 hours from Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's about 4.5 hours from my home in rural Manitoba. And I had to drive down here to check out this place, DEEZ Fish. This place is incredible. It's like an old school fish room. It's awesome. We gotta go check it out. Derek, the proprietor here, we're gonna have a little chat with him. We're gonna take a peek at this place. Let's check it out. All right, here we are at DEEZ Fish. This is Derek. Nice seeing you, Derek. You got to give us, Derek. You know, I've walked around your store for a little bit here. It's a real cool store. I love the old school vibe. We're in a small town in Detroit Lakes. Give us a quick little story, walk me through your store and kind of give me an idea how it all came to be.
Sure. I guess we'll start at the beginning. I worked factory work most of my adult life. Kind of got sick of doing that, decided to do something I enjoyed. Opened up the store cashed out my 401k and opened it up so I didn't have to go into debt or anything like that. So this is all done just on what I had available in cash funds.
And you've kept fish yourself for years before this?
Since I was about 5, I've always had at least a tank roller.
Cool. Let's go take a peek.
Nothing super major, but you know, a little bit here and there.
You got to give us the quick and dirty tour.
Sure, absolutely.
Let's head in. No, this is a cool shop, man. You got a little bit of everything. But in talking with you earlier, you said that the water here is really, really hard.
Incredibly hard. Like 8.4, 8.5 pH, depending on the time of year.
So just African cichlids, basically.
Well, that was one of the key things when I first opened up. I kind of wanted to keep only species that would handle our water. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Make it easy for the customers in the area. Anybody that wants anything specialty, I can get it in for them, but I try to stick with on hand what works well with our waters here.
Yeah, and talking with you earlier, you mentioned that, and I think that's a real, honestly, it's a noble thing, because I'm sure you have the specialty customers that, want to breed or do, specialty plants or, a real specialized setup or something like that, but the fact that you know where you are, and you're small town America, and you're going to keep mostly fish that people are going to do. But you also still have things like discus and mud skippers and a lot of unique things as well. But doing the stuff that most people can do successfully using their tap water, I think is really, really cool. So tell me, kind of lead me through here, tell me what we got kind of going on here. Like you got tanks of every size here, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, so again, we went with what we could afford at the time. So a lot of the tanks that are in here are recycled or reused tanks. Yep. Didn't really start with anything new. Repurposed as much as we could. 2.5 gallons for shrimp and nano species.
You got endlers, you got different types of unique snails, you got different types of small crayfish and stuff. That's something we can't even have in where I live. Yep. And we definitely can't have things like white cloud minnows, because apparently in Canada, or at least in Manitoba, they think that's somehow going to be a threat. I find that kind of funny.
Which is really bizarre if you think about it.
Yeah. And you got lots of different supplies. You got you're kind of like a one-stop shop specialty fish store. Yep,
and that was kind of another thing that we wanted to do is offer everything you would need to keep your tank rolling and healthy and all that whatnot.
One of the things that I noticed when I first walked in the door was the old school feel. It's got the dark ceiling that you guys literally, you and Rob were talking about how you hand painted every single tile to give it that real dark look. I love the culture that you guys have created by using some of these old antique kind of trunks, like something that you'd find in small America and stuff like that, for some of the different products. Like you say, you specialized in some of the shrimps, so you got, cholla woods and all the different types of aquascaping stones and rock. But you also have something here that's, not really, I don't think this is a fish. To me, this looks like something I'd put on a sandwich.
Yeah.
Who's this?
This is George. He's an 11-year-old scarlet macaque. He was actually donated to the store by a customer of ours.
And he eats fish, right? You feed him fish?
Actually, no. He's anything that moves, he's kind of afraid of, for the most part.
Yeah, when I showed up, you guys actually had him outside because it's such a beautiful day, and he was getting a bath, and he has all his flight feathers and everything. I was kind of surprised, he does not flying away, but the guy, one of your employees told me that he's never learned to fly.
Nope, he's got one wing that didn't quite develop all the way, so with a little rehabilitation, he would be able to, but it makes him a really good store pet, basically, because he can't fly out. He won't fly onto your shoulder and terrorize you or anything like that. We can sit out front with him, and he'll just hang out with us. He has free reign of the store. We never put him in his cage.
And being where you are, he's kind of like an attraction for the store.
Yep. A lot of people come in just to see him.
Tell me about this gigantic pond you have here that's kind of right in the center of the store. You mentioned that this was also something else that brings a lot of the people in.
Yep, so this was a main attraction when we first opened up. We have tons and tons of people that come in just to feed the koi. They'll walk in, feed them, stand here for a couple of minutes and take off.
You have like a candy dispenser machine for $0.25 that they can come and get some food.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Now you have a really good assortment. You actually, like the thing I love when I come and see all these different types of stores is just the variety of stuff that I may not see as regular, like where I live. Like theoretically, I live in kind of small town Canada. Like I live in I live rural myself, but even Winnipeg, which is the capital, there's certain things I just don't see, like some of the Dawkinsia barbs and stuff like that. You guys even do a bit of, some of the different Central American cichlids and some unique stuff. You even dabble a little bit in marine.
So that was one of the things that I wanted to try and hit. We don't have a lot of stores up here. There are a few others, but mostly box stores. So bringing some of the lesser known things in the hobby. And those have been a huge hit for us. The real oddballs, the mud skippers, we had ropefish last week.
And I'm visiting here on a Saturday afternoon, and when I first pulled up, it was really busy in here at the time. A lot of people coming in the door. And as you mentioned, you get the people that are buying the bread and butter stuff, but you also have a large clientele that buys a lot of the unique specialty stuff, like the mud skippers and some of these other unique things. Like, I believe I saw it somewhere here. There it is right there. You guys have some stingrays. You got all sorts of stuff in this store. What's your favorite type of fish to keep?
I'm kind of a guppy fanatic myself. They work really well in our waters. They're easy to keep, easy to breed. There's so much variety. They're always active. I absolutely love guppies.
See, that's not something I would have thought you would have said, but that's really cool. So what are you sitting beside there? What's that?
So this is our 90-gallon cylinder tank. This is a fully acrylic, was originally a marine tank, custom built by a gentleman that all of us here know. The stand itself is all hand built. We built a bench on the side of it here for anyone who, they got their spouse wandering around, their grandkids, whatever, they can sit here, and it's kind of hot in here, so they can take a break while their significant others walking around looking at fish.
Well, that's not just a bench.
No, this is also the filter. So underneath this bench is I want to say it's a 30-gallon sump or something like that.
So it's a wet-dry filter.
Yes. Take a look here.
Oh, that's super cool. And because it used to be a saltwater tank, was the filter with the saltwater tank beforehand?
This was the filter they were using. This was the sump anyway, yep.
So that big column that's in the middle of the tank, that's, basically it skims from the top.
Yep.
Drains all the way down, goes to the filter, and then a nice big pump returns the water back.
Correct.
So you've not only multi-purposed having a really cool display unit in this store, but you've also got something that, like you said, it's practical as well.
Yes.
So if you ever guys find yourself on the way down from Canada or up to Canada and you're going through Minnesota, you guys definitely want to stop in here and take a peek. They got a little bit of everything. They have Thai micro crabs, all sorts of unique plants, all properly named using the vernacular names. Repurposing. This is basically a fish room's dream. A little bit of everything for everybody. And not only is it just fish, but they have all the supplies you're going to need to have success at home. And they're even reusing some of these units that they've bought from different things from the big box stores and repurposing them for their uses here.
You can find us at deezfish.co. I don't know the address.
223 Front Street West, Detroit Lakes, Minnesota.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.